Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the firing of Blizzard Activision CFO, kind of in general and what that means, and kind of like the way people are talking about it, making it sound and everything, and points about that. First of all, though, I want to do a quick little update here. In my this week video, I mentioned I was going to start trying to put out like almost like a podcast format thing for more videos between like guides and stuff that I normally do, and I did do a test run on that. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not for sure what I'm going to do. Either I'm going to be doing like very casually playing WoW on a live stream on YouTube uh, with webcam up, or I'll just do a straight webcam. If I do straight webcam, though, I know nobody really wants to stare at my mug for half hour, however long. So I'll probably do a setup where I'm a little bit further away from the camera, as long as everything sounds and works good. So I might try to set that up tomorrow even. I did do a test run on that, and I can't wait to maybe do that just to kind of have more of a free form, long form conversation about stuff. Whereas a video like this, even though it's going to be opinion, I'll try to keep that within like 5-10 minutes at the longest usually. But yeah, so if you don't know, the Blizzard fired their CFO recently, and that person is now going to be working at Netflix. Apparently, that's what the article said at least. And I don't really care about that so much. I care more about how it relates to World of Warcraft. So that would be the community and the reaction. And a lot of people are talking about it, in a way like doom and gloom. Oh, look, they're firing their CFO because the company's doing so bad. The stock dropped and everything like that. Because the stock did drop when Diablo came out and everything like that at BlizzCon, and everyone blamed it on that. And that was probably part of it. But I think the bigger part was um, just seeing that they didn't have any growth for a quarter and their player base went down. And while other gaming companies' player base was growing at the same time, it's like, well, why are you losing when everyone else is gaining? So it's a trend. So it's trying to correct for a trend. When a stock goes up, when it's going up, usually it's because they expect you to be trending upward. That's the expectation. So when they start see you trending downward, especially some people are going to start selling. Then some people will then buy it up if they believe that the trend's going to go back upward. So that's kind of how that works. Um, so uh, so part of it could be, a small part of it could be the whole Diablo thing or whatever. I don't really buy too much into that. Stock people don't really care about that kind of crap. If anything, that would make them like it more because mobile gaming makes more money. But that was so that's the natural thing people are saying. Oh, look at this! I told you they were ruining WoW. I told you they were ruining Diablo. I told you this. I told you that. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think that's really how business works. I think that either way, maybe getting a new vision in there could be good because there are some good points from those same people that are saying things that are wrong about business. There's some good points that they're making. I want to point those out too. But first, what I wanted to do is I wanted to actually pull it over here. I wanted to read this comment. I thought it was said very well, so I'll give this person credit, of course. Um, basically, about a post about this, someone started their thing their reply with, "I'm not going to pretend to have a single clue about business," and blah 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 blah, and kind of like go back to the way things were, the way they used to be when things were good. What I want to read you is I want to read you the reply to this, because if you're thinking this is the perfect reply to you. If you're thinking like they need to go back to the way I started playing 10 years ago or however long you started playing, for me, go back to the way it was in vanilla. I wouldn't say that, but that would be me. So this guy's name is Jack1010 JAQ1010 on Wildhead, and I thought this guy's reply was really good. It was a little bit condescending, but Jack1010, I think it was a pretty good reply. He said, "You're right about not having a clue about business. That's the condescending part. You've never been a valued customer to any for-profit company, even yes, Blizzard. Every generation of gamers, or just people in society, convinces them itself, or yeah, generation of gamers convinces itself that they get into gaming X numbers of years ago. When they get into gaming X numbers of years ago, the company existed solely to make games. They are art. Now they've sold themselves out for filthy money and only care about that. Sorry, they've always wanted your money. What is happening in gaming now is very simple. The old models have died. No one really knows yet what the new model will be for PC and console gaming. Mobile gaming is massively taking over the industry, which is true. The past few months have seen a lot of people realize that tech stocks were overvalued. Activision Blizzard wasn't worth $83 a share, and that's coupled with how 2018 in general, but especially the last 3 months, was down the stock market. That's a lot of long term trends there's a lot of long term trends that are coming home to roost at once, and it's got the PC and console gaming industry in a bit of a panic. It's not because there was a low key BlizzCon or because of a minor percentage drop in the online numbers. It's because the rest of the gaming period and stock market in general is in a tumble. But it's not because these companies suddenly started wanting you just for your money. They've always wanted that. And that's something you need to understand. When they first came out with WoW, I doubt that they thought it was going to be as big of a hit as it was, but they certainly wanted it to be. Um, when it became a huge hit, they were just rolling in money, and they're like, "What the heck?" They were overwhelmed with how great a success World of Warcraft was. I'm sure. Obviously I don't work there, but I'm sure they were just overwhelmed with the amazing success that they had, and that's it's important to know that they love that. They love that they're making a ton of money. They wanted to continue making a ton of money. That's why they did an expansion in the first place. That's why they kept the game going. That's why when the game started losing stuff, they tried to reinvent it in different ways. They made the mission board and the mobile app to try to incorporate you into the game at all times. The player base for World of Warcraft, the ones that are remaining, are largely the people who started playing back when either they were in college or high school or a time in their life where they had more time to play. Because during earlier years in WoW, especially, or just when you're starting off, when you're leveling your first character, if you're leveling it and trying to be like a good player, you put a lot of time in the game, a huge time crunch. So you need a lot of time. But that same player base now has families. I have a wife and a son. You have bills to pay. You have jobs. You have everything else to do in your life, and you have to manage things differently. And so now they want it to couple it with like mobile gaming, something you can do all the time, like or something you can do on your break, or something you can do, on in the car, or in the parking lot, or whatever. They or at a restaurant, you're at McDonald's Wi-Fi or something. They want you to be able to do something on your phone, and that's why they've done the mission boards. And I've really enjoyed the mission boards. I think one of the biggest things that they did wrong in Battle for Azeroth was scale back the mission boards. I think in Legion it was at a really good place personally, for making gold, getting gear, and I think they actually listened to the high end people a little bit too much in this case, and they actually dial back the mission board. And I hope that they bring it back more. I think that they probably will, because probably be a clamor for it at some point. Because everybody will be like, "Hey, I miss getting that gear from the mission board raid." And they're like, "We're gonna give it back to you." The classic take something away, give it back, kind of maneuver there. But yeah, so they've always wanted your money, and that's important to remember. It's never been about the art of the game. No game is for the art of the game. If it was always for the art of the game, then it would never have a price tag on it. Everything would be out for free, and they would just do it for the love of it. The second you put a price tag on something, um, you can say you're just trying to make your money back or whatever, but again, that's not for love. Think about someone you love. Do you love your pet? Do you love your cat? Do you love your dog? Do you love your girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband? Do you love your kids? Do you love your brother, sisters, mother, father? If you give them something, are you expecting to get your return on investment, or do you give it to them because you love them? They're not making games for love. They're making games for profit. So as the person said, Jack 1010, if it's a for-profit company, then they're just trying to get your money. That's all it is. That's all it's ever been, and it's all it'll ever be. So maybe you're waking up to a time where you're like, oh shit, you're going to be more cynical going forward now, and you thought that there was, gaming companies out there, or there were gaming companies out there trying to, just do things for the love of it. But that's just not the case. So the firing of the CFO, what I want to say is could be good points is they could bring somebody in with a little bit of a different direction. I doubt it. My guess is that they might double down on the whole mobile thing. That there might be a WoW mobile game or subset of the current game out on phone in the near future, and people will probably hate that at first. But here, here's what I'll say. I said this in a video when I addressed the Diablo thing. If you can't afford to spend money on a mobile game because they're addictive, first of all, if you have an addictive personality, don't get it. If you don't have money to spend on it and you might feel tempted to, even though you don't typically have a problem, don't get it. Just don't get it. No one's forcing you to get it. It will not. What they won't do. One thing that they are steadfast about is they won't make it so if you don't have the mobile game that you won't be able to play the real game, the real retail active game. Like they won't make you have to have classic to be competitive on the retail game. They're not going to make you be competitive on the phone game to do something. Like there'll be a thing like, oh, download the phone game and it'll give you a mount, something like that, sure. But they won't force you to do it to be competitive. So if you have an addictive personality, if you can't afford it, don't get it. Just don't get it and ignore it and just enjoy the games that you enjoy. Hopefully it's World of Warcraft, maybe it's another game. But yeah, my hope is that they do bring in somebody with a different vision. I think a lot of things could be better, for sure. There's tons of things to address. There's things to address as far as like not not listening to players on certain things because you don't listen to players saying, "Oh, go back to the way it was," but you can listen to players as far as this doesn't feel good. Like certain classes, they don't like talking about classes anymore, but certain classes don't feel good, and I think it might be just because they have like crappy people working in the class design area. Sorry to any of those people, but like whoever's responsible for rep paladins and elemental shaman and some other classes, you're doing a pretty terrible job. So hopefully, stuff like that, like little nuanced stuff like that, will get better. I doubt just hiring a new CFO will do that, but perhaps it will because maybe that person will have a love of gaming. Um, that's not a likely scenario, but it is possible, especially as the millennial generation. I'm an older millennial, but they can be up to what, like 4 years older than me or something like that. So the older millennial generation starts taking over things. Perhaps that could happen, but yeah, it's not a huge deal for Blizzard. Honestly, if you were into buying stocks, buy it while it's low. It'll probably go back up. All it will take is one successful mobile game by Blizzard. Um, and well, Hearthstone is a good example of that. But one more successful mobile game by Blizzard, and their stock's going to shoot right back up, really high. So if you're into stocks or investing, instead of buying stuff on the mobile game, buy some stock in Blizzard. If they come out with a good game, now if it's a crap game and it's like, oh, this is stupid, then maybe not. But if they come out with a really cool game, like Hearthstone's a really cool game to play on your phone. I used to play it on my break at work. That's actually how I got into it. Um, and I was like, wow, I can play this game on my phone. That's really cool. But yeah, and doing this, I can somehow get a mount for World of Warcraft and or get like cross referencing. My phone is affecting my World of Warcraft. That's really cool. That was when it was new. But yeah, so I just want to talk about that for a little bit. Kind of went longer than I'd like, so maybe this is kind of something I'll talk about on one of my little podcast things. Like I said, I'll try to get that set up maybe tomorrow. If you enjoy my videos, my channel, anything at all, I know you might be subscribed to a lot of people. Please subscribe to my channel. It would really help me out a lot. Listen, you have to have 1,000 subscribers to even be noticed on YouTube. So I need to get up there. Please subscribe to my channel. I will, I will always give the content I say I'll give. I'll always give guides, and I'm going to be trying to put out more stuff for opinions and stuff like that. So if you're interested in World of Warcraft and then also just gaming in general, that this will be a channel for you. So please do that, and everybody have a good one.